Hi everyone, I'm Angela Bennis, Recreation Manager for the City of Tyler, and welcome to an episode of A Day at the Park. A Day at the Park. Today we're here at W.E. Winters Park, which many still call Peach Park. More on that in a minute. Back in the summer of 1968, you'd find children flocking here to try out for the jump rope act in the greatest children's show on earth. Hosted by the Tyler Parks and Recreation Department. That's right, we used to host a children's circus for children. And the price of admission, just a smile. There were 14 parks at the time that would host different acts, from acrobatics and tumbling to unicycle and Roman rings. Children would try out to be a part of the acts, practice at the parks in the evenings, and then were a part of the greatest children's show on earth, which had as many as 5,000 attendees one year. I don't think I would make the cut. The property which W.E. Winters Park sits on has belonged to the city since the late 1800s. Back then, the site was home to a pest house, which isn't what it sounds like. Pest is short for pestilence, a highly communicable disease. During a smallpox scare in Tyler in 1899, those who were suspected of having the disease were sent to quarantine at the pest house if they were caught around town or on the square instead of isolating themselves. This land was far enough outside of what was then Tyler that it was a great location to host the pest house. After the smallpox scare was over and the pest house site was no longer needed, this land was used as the city dump grounds. That's until 1963 when Parks Board made plans to turn it into a park. It wasn't until 1978 that the first real park improvements were made, thanks to a housing and urban development grant and matching funds from the city. In the next few years, they installed a basketball court, trail, playground, and picnic areas. This park got its current name, W.E. Winters Park, in 1986, when city officials decided to name it after the beloved principal of Peet Elementary, which is only one block from the park. W.E. Winters served as principal of Peet Elementary for 24 years and lived near the park until his death in 1966. It was only fitting to name such a beautiful park after him. Thanks for joining us today at W.E. Winters Park. We hope you'll come and visit if you've never been here before and enjoyed the interesting history linked to this site.